This man was the falling star.
No man could survive such a thing. Who are you? What are you?
A warrior, I think. I came bearing grave news, but I cannot remember.
Your message might be all that can save us from impending doom. Tell me everything you remember, stranger. Every detail.
Falling. Fire. A sword of great power. It was part of me. But it shattered into 3 pieces as I fell.
It is vital that we find those pieces. I believe the sword made whole will restore your memory.
The goatmen are rampaging through the fields. Could the sword have anything to do with that?
Of course, of course. Just as the dead rose around the stranger, the sword pieces drove the goatmen to madness.
I will bring back the sword and bring peace to the Khazra, one way or another.
One way or another indeed. Death means peace, yes?
My dearest Heydrich, do not feel despair, my love. You did everything you could. Our time together meant more than words can say. But in the end, fate is a cruel mistress. Your strength is needed to end the horrors that beset this world. My final wish is that you find your path. Love always. Mira.
Well, nothing here from Kane's journal. So yes, we are continuing on. We have just found the stranger, killed Leoric again. Hopefully he stays dead this time. Fought off Jondar, killed him. Not that he was much of a challenge. Oh, Leah, more journal?
I can hardly believe it, but the falling star is a man. When Uncle Deckard realized this, he was crushed. I know he was hoping for something more miraculous.
Oh, let's get right into it, shall we? More spiders. Alright, so we're not going to go through these all again. We're going to continue on, but we're just going to take a look and see if there's an elite or anything around here.
Not even a sweat.
Ah, a frenzied shrine. This shall help us as we move on to the Fields of Misery.
If there's a sword here, we will find it.
He's awfully positive of that, isn't he? These wood wraiths are some of the most lethal creatures of Act 1. Especially when combined with other creatures, because if you don't catch the poison underneath you quick enough, it will kill you exceptionally fast, as it just did to our friend the Templar there.
I have heard the most ridiculous tales about travelers being ambushed by vicious trees. It is too much. Despite their names, the wood wraiths are not plants, but fully mobile beasts who have taken on the guise of foliage to ensnare their prey. Only a simpleton could be fooled by such a trick.
Right. Let's get our damage up a little bit, shall we? Our zombie dogs are down. Let's bring those back up.
I was able to trace some carrion bats back to one of their nests. What I found shocked me. The nest itself is a living organism, a mature bat that has been mutated by the darkest of magics. I no longer doubt that demonic forces have corrupted these creatures.
Needs more time.
Oh, hello, Lag. My old friend.
Some time ago, I revealed that the Khazra, or goatmen, were originally humans until the Vigerai corrupted them. For many years, these creatures were simple and lethargic. These days have ended. Khazra attacks are widely reported, and the number of fatalities is higher than anything in my records.
Healed.
Alright, now this reminds me. We'll move on to the new lore first before I get into that. Hold
The
on.
large, sluggish beasts can thrive in any grassland or forest, provided there is enough water. Farmers will recognize these brutes as the savage cousins of the common pack beast, a tame breed that was likely domesticated nearly 2,000 years ago. One can hardly imagine the trouble that effort must have taken.
Thank you, sir. More dogs. I definitely die a little more often than I'm expecting here, so I gotta keep an eye on them. Make sure I bring them back up. Now, one thing that I did do, and I beat Leor because I did level, so I hit level 10.
The wounds are fresh. The creatures who made them are near.
Ooh, I just got a 5-stack off of that. How brilliant. Alright. Well, I've got two passives to choose from now. I've got Circle of Life. Whenever an enemy dies within 12 yards, there's a 5% chance that a zombie dog will automatically emerge. The range of this effect is increased by items that increase your gold pickup radius. I can see that working around an interesting build. There's actually a few things that the Witch Doctor gets that's based around item pickup radius. I've been talking with my friend the Witch Doctor Snook, and we've been talking about something that makes a build like that. He actually has a pickup radius of over 40 yards. He can pick up health globes from across the entire screen. It's madness, I tell you. But I'd be interested in taking a look at that further in detail later. The other passive I get is Jungle Fortitude, which reduces all damage taken by me and my pets by 20%. Well, since I am using the zombie dogs and they are dying quite a bit, I'm going to go ahead and use that one. A flat-out 20% reduction in damage is a very powerful thing. A little bit of lag there.
Need more time.
Which way? Let's go up. I love watching the spiders just leap for their next target. See about getting a... Here we go, I can get a 5-stack off of this. There we are. The health just melting away. Very nice. Oh, an elite pack. Let's go ahead and refresh my stack. Even though it's not a full 5, it's better than letting it drop at the moment.
A worthy opponent.
Excellent. Excellent indeed.
curse upon you.
Yeah, the combination of 5 stacks of Soul Harvest with Grasp of the Dead is proving to be very effective.
Why is that?
You fight with both honor and ferocity. I know that a pure soul must burn within you.
Good old magic find. So, since I haven't gone over any news today, you can pretty much imagine that there really isn't much to talk about at this point. Nothing really new as far as Diablo patches or hotfix are concerned at this point in time. However, I have seen on the front page of Diablo fans an interesting post about how Magic Find works. Someone has apparently gone to exhaustive lengths, and I'll put a video, or not a video, sorry, a link on the video description here to this post on Diablo fans, where someone basically got a whole bunch of sample sizes of item drops from the different pygmies, and then put on various degrees of Magic Find gear to determine what exactly Magic Find does. And the results turned out pretty much exactly as I expected. Is that, you know, pretty much a lot of us had been told. It's just nice to see proof. You know, no one has actually gone out and exhaustively proven that it works this way. But to kind of give you the long and short of it, in case you haven't heard me talk about it before, say in my stream or any other videos or anything like that, Magic Find does not increase the amount of items that drop from, say, a group of enemies. Magic Find also does not improve the item levels that you get from drops. So it doesn't actually affect the drops themselves, other than once a drop has been determined. So when you kill a monster, the loot table is, you know, is affected, and it drops. Basically, you get your random roll of loot, and these items drop. And the game determines, okay, you just got 10 items, right? Say from a boss kill or something. Now, as part of that, if you've got Nephilim Valor, one of them could be guaranteed to be rare. So, okay, there's that. But every other item is affected by your Magic Find in such that Magic Find makes it so that the item you're going to get, it has a chance to be magical or not. It sounds pretty straightforward. Basically, it means that Magic Find increases the chance of, say, a common item to be blue, or a blue item to be rare, and possibly the chance for rare items to be set and legendary. I believe they do, but
is a part of life. If you live,
that's one of those things that's really hard to get a feeling for without a huge sample size, because obviously legendaries and sets are so rare that getting a true number on those is going to be very difficult. But because they work on blues and rares, I am fairly certain that they are affected as well. So there you go. It doesn't affect the number of items, does not affect the item level. It simply affects the chance that that item, instead of being white, is blue. Instead of being blue, is rare. And sometimes even jumping higher than that. You might jump and make a white item rare if the Magic Find procs item out. You're basically just increasing the chances that it's going to be special in some way. So if you want an exhaustive study on it, which is actually a pretty good read, you can go to Diablo Fans. Again, I'll see about providing a link in the video description. It'd be worth looking into if you're interested in that kind of thing. Statistics and all that.
This beast died not long ago.
What I found interesting about the chart that they listed on the Diablo Fans page is it seemed like when they were killing the pygmies, the chart seemed to show that as you got around 250 and closer to 300% Magic Find,
Need more time.
you pretty much were starting to make it so that the chance that the item would be rare, it started to eclipse the chance that the item would be blue. So they started the item graphs for blues and rares started to converge around the 250, 300 mark. So that's pretty cool. So eventually with enough magic find you can make it so you find more rares than blues. Excellent, huh? I'm not sure if we'll be able to see those kind of numbers of magic find without an expansion, though.
Those scavengers trapped my poor wife and me down there for hours. I'm sure she'd love to meet you, and thank you for your help.
Oh, this guy. This is amusing.
My love, this is the man who saved our farm.
Listen to me now. Your wife's spirit is gone.
Oh, I know. She's been glum ever since the weather turned last week.
Ah, it pleases you to stay with her. So be it.
Oh, she's nodded off.
Gets me every time.
My wife can't help with the planting and harvesting. She's nothing but skin and bones. It can be dangerous in the wilderness. Being out this far scares my wife to death. You wouldn't know it, but this basement gets right chilly at night. Cold as the grave. You should have been there when I met my wife. I lost my heart and she lost her head.
You must stop this now.
Yes!
I can't take all the credit. My wife handles the business side of things. She has a good head on her shoulders.
Really?
I can't take all the credit. My wife handles the business.
How are criminals treated in your land?
They are banished.
How odd. In the order, they're just executed.
The puns from this event. The puns. Get some stacks, get some dogs. Wow, even with the 20% damage reduction, they don't seem to be staying up very long, do they? I'm a little concerned about that. I mean, I was talking in one of the earlier videos about the zombie dogs not being terribly effective later. I'm starting to kind of see it now. They are living through some hits, though, so right now they're not useless, but they are getting to the point where they're starting to need to be resummoned very frequently. So, I'll keep an eye on that. It doesn't feel bad yet, but it is noticeable. Alright, I better get my stacks. There we go. Yeah, these creatures are definitely going to start killing the dogs quickly. Because these creatures hit hard. So let's go ahead and put that down in front of me. I have to wait before I can summon my dogs again. Okay, dogs are up.
Could we find more like that?
Monsters down. Yeah, big creatures like those beasts, they're kind of the bruiser types of the game. They get close to you, they're going to hit you hard. Good news is, they typically move a little slower. Of course, those beasts have the additional benefit of being able to charge you. So, you might get away for a moment, but if you're not careful, they can still run right at you and hit you. Yeah, see, they're dying so quickly that I'm pretty sure that I wouldn't have wanted to get Circle of Life. A 5% chance is not very high, although since it's for every creature killed, you would start to see the dogs appearing, you know, at a fairly frequent interval. That trap did nothing. Yeah, I am not expecting to get that achievement for Killing monsters with the environment. See, there you go. That was the charge, but he didn't get too far because he hit Cormac. Apparently also killed my dogs. Let's bring them back.
I see magic I have seen before coming from this cave. What I seek must be inside.
So this is the
Hurry
Khazra
now. There are beasts that want slaying.
Yes, they do want slaying. I like the subtle details that they have here. So there you've got the Khazra Den. This is the next spot that we find the sword, but as you look over here, you can just see this is where the sword actually impacted. So you can actually see the crater, see the magic on the crater. I think it's really nice that they include those little details like that. Tree traps! Tree trunks keep falling on my head. If I stand in it then, I'm sure to be dead. Something like that. Don't worry, I won't quit my day job.
A dark coven has formed in Tristram, and I fear that their superstitious violence may damn the whole region. I discovered very little during my eavesdropping, except that the word Magda was repeated several times in their chants. Oh well, now I kill him!
Oh well, now I kill him! Yes, that just worked out nicely. Oh well, now I journey to the safety of my home where I put these worries behind me. Of course. That just turned out to be perfect.
We must hurry with the ritual. Magda will be here soon. It is time.
Look at all that lightning. Good thing the Templar and the dogs are there to absorb it, huh?
The bestial hellions are demons that can be summoned from the burning hells with the aid of foul sorcery. They are given to chasing down their foes and attacking them with savage fangs. This usually allows some spare time for their masters to craft their dark spell work and finish off the victim.
Oh, what's this? Oh, okay. They just ran away, I guess? I wasn't expecting there to be more cultists that way. Alright.
Stranger's light surrounds this sword piece.
Who are you to take what is mine?
I will return this sword to its owner.
Regardless, I have claimed it. I am Magda, and I lead this coven. The shard is mine.
To hell with you, witch!
Very well. Let games begin.
She just agreed to go to hell, right? No, well, it's probably not a place she hasn't been to very often.
Well fought, but you will never possess the next piece. It has fallen where only the ancients may tread.
She is more devious than she appears.
Alright, let's grab our glowing sword shard. It looks like it's the blade of the sword. Alright, well, by taking out Magda's minions, we've leveled, and so is the Templar. What have you got at 10? Loyalty, regenerate 4 life per second for me and the Templar, and as you can see, these numbers do go up as he levels, so that's 110 now. This will go up eventually, too. And Intimidate. Enemy units are slowed by 60% for 3 seconds when hit by the Templar.
Should it not fear the light?
Good and evil deeds are performed under the sun as well.
But the light is both a literal and figurative foe of evil.
What I'm thinking here is the life regeneration is nice, but I'm going to try and keep away from combat a bit more. It does regenerate his life, but I think in order to keep him as my tank, I'm going to let him slow the enemy down.
I will use it well.
So that I have more of a chance to get away. I think that's a good idea. Alright, well, since we found our sword piece here, we can go back and talk to Cain. And I've got a full inventory up. So we will clear that out as well. Let's just take a look at what we've got here. Wow, lots of belts, huh? Let's move everything over here. So here we go. Once again, this is the segment in my videos where I take too much time fiddling with inventory. Huzzah! If you've been here before, you know how it goes. Let's see. Yes, of course, that'll go here, that'll go there. There, all my belts and rings and whatnot are over there in one spot. Goodness, goodness, goodness. Alright, let's look here, shall we? 6.3, I have a 14.0. What does he have? A 12, so yeah, that's not high enough. Is that here? Two-handed bow, 17.5. Not bad. Slower attacks. Well, no, look at that. Hold on. My ceremonial magical knife is 1.4 attacks. So is this bow. Interesting. I would gain more damage. Now here's the problem though. The bow being two-handed would mean I would lose my Wangadal. So I would lose my magic find in damage. So let's just take a look. Let's see if it'd be worth it though. I've got 23 DPS. Let's take that off. Put that on. 25. So I would lose mana regeneration, but it's only 1 per second. I don't think that's a big deal. So I would gain more damage for the same attack speed, right? 1.4 attacks second. I think it would be worth it, but the gain is minimal, so I want to be able to just upgrade either one offhand or main hand at the time being. I think I'd switch to a two-handed weapon if it gave me a bit more benefit. Let's see what else we've got here. This one's a 15, so that's not as much. So we're going to go ahead and move that over. Let's see, a helm. With gold find, no thanks, I have better. Pants with 19 and 3 vital, and magic find. Oh, what the heck, that improves survivability and gives me magic find. I lose the experience. I can live with that. And 2% magic find. No, I'll stay away from that. Plus 1 experience and 1... Nah, I'll keep my magic find for now, because I'm enjoying finding blue items. Here we go, 15.7. That solves my problem right there. Increased attack speed. So that's even better. There we go, 25.61. Very good. I don't even care about the 1 mana per second at this point. 9 with strength, no thank you. A two-handed. I can actually use pole arms as a witch doctor. How amusing. Let me see. You were at 12.6, weren't you? You can't use any of these. No, you cannot. Okay. Don't care about that. Alright, these I don't need. These are just quivers. I'm just going to go ahead and automatically forget about them. Same thing with the wizard source. Since I'm not worried about finding items for other characters at this stage of the game. Two-handed crossbow, not worth it. Magic sword for 7, not worth it. Gloves at 15 with dex and gold. Lose protection, but gain gold find. What the heck? I could use a little bit more gold as I go. And a new Wangadal that gives me 2 mana per second, and enemies take damage. Nah, I'll keep my magic find. Very good. And there's even a magic find shield. Don't need it. Found my first ring, 1 to 2 damage. That's always a plus. Up to 28 now. And now I have a bunch of belts. Health globe pickup with 15, strength and health globe life. 6, 16 with intelligence and magic find. So here we go. It's going to beat out the rare belt for me, honestly. 3 intelligence increases my damage. I don't need the 6 strength. It's got the same magic find. I don't need the thorns on melee attackers take damage. And the experience is nice, but not needed. So we'll go ahead and do that. We'll get rid of this rare belt. And let's see. Strength, gold pickup. Thorns, gold for monsters, experience. So, yep. Don't need any of this. Now what I'm going to do is, instead of disenchanting all this, I'm just going to sell it. Because a lot of the mats that these are going to give, I can buy, like, you know, 32 gold there. Like, let me find one of my essences here. If I pull one of these out, that's 14 gold, so... And usually the mats start to get low when a lot of people are selling. So I think the gold is going to be more important at this point. I'll double check that later, but I think it's better I just go ahead and do this now and sell, and if I do a little research between videos to find out which one's higher before I record next time, be a good idea. That way I don't waste too much time on this recording.
The sword was in the possession of Dark Ones, under the will of a woman named Magda.
Uncle Deckard, you sound like those dark cultists you told me about.
Very good, Leah. You have been paying attention. Stranger, does any of this jar your memory?
I have no memory of this coven, but I sense a far darker shadow guiding its hand.
Magda's words betrayed her. The next piece of the sword rests where only ancients may tread.
That makes me think of the drowned temple near the festering woods. I remember you telling me about it, Uncle.
Exactly, Leah. The temple was home to the Nephilim. Leah, your knowledge could be invaluable. You must go and help our friend retrieve the sword piece.
The Nephilim were ancient humans with fantastic powers. Legend holds that they waged a terrible battle near the temple, and that their ghosts still war with one another.
Few conversation options there. Just take a look at what's here. Alright, let's see what we have about journals.
It's not polite to go through other people's things, don't you?
Could have sworn Kane had another journal at some point. What about Leah?
What? You're not really thinking of reading my journal, are you?
Oh no, I would never. Yes.
Uncle Deckard believes the key to unlocking the stranger's memory is reassembling his sword. I wish I could say this was another of Uncle's crazy theories, but I can't deny that these ominous events are starting to really scare me.
Alright, well, it's time to change up my build at this point. What did I get? I got Plague of Toads. Release a handful of toads that deal 130% weapon damage as poison to enemies they come in contact with. So this is an 18 mana cost, which makes Plague of Toads, honestly, my most expensive mana generator. But it does decent damage. It doesn't do as much as Poison Darts does here, say look for 140 there. It does 130. However, because it's 3 toads, if I can get things up close,
simple folk have made their lives and homes
then
here.
It can potentially do a lot.
They will not survive this disaster unless we aid them.
So we're going to go ahead and switch out the Plague of Toads. The next thing we got is Firebats and the Direbatcher, and this is honestly one of my favorites. It summons fewer. Basically, this completely replaces the Firebats mechanic. So instead of being a cone channeled ability, it's firing off these bats. It summons fewer but larger bats. They travel up to 40 yards and hit for 220% weapon damage as fire. I loved this ability in the beta. I would Soul Harvest to 5, put out Direbats. 220% weapon damage is a lot of weapon damage. Of course, you can see it's fairly expensive. So the problem here with combining Plague of Toads with Firebats is that I will have slower mana regeneration with Plague of Toads. So honestly, these two would probably not be the best two mechanics to go together. But I want to go ahead and use them both for this level. Nothing new here, very good. So we'll go ahead and do that. And what we've got here is kind of a build that I can answer to any threat long or short range. My Plague of Toads, that's my short range. My Direbats, my long range. As you can see there. Even though he still acts like he channels it, the truth is you can just fire off, fire off.
Need more mana.
So I can start using this spell like casting a primary nuke without having to stay still. So the downside of the Firebats that I talked about last time when I got them, about it being a spell that you may not want to use for high mobility, has just been removed with the simple addition of this rune. So I can go up here, fire, fire. As you can see, it does quite a bit of damage. Of course, my toads don't seem to want to hit what I want them to. So the beautiful thing here is, if I can get it in the right position, I can hit him with more than one toad. If I hit him with 2 toads, it's 260 damage. Even more than the Firebats. So yeah, Plague of Toads, really good at short range. And this is the thing I found out, like, when I was playing the beta and playing the Wizard. One of the spells I really didn't care for was Electrocute. On the simple fact that Electrocute was very difficult to hit some creatures up close. But then I started playing around with some of the runes and finding it to be fairly useful as long as you got pretty close to the enemy. So this is one of the things where right now, Plague of Toads I would not see being useful as its base skill in high level play. Just because you do really need to get close. Because I'm just going to spam it a bit here. And as you can see, it does eventually take mana if I spam it too fast. But it's very inconsistent on where they go, making this horrible for middle to long range. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to grab a Fiver. Booyah. Fire once. Look at that. Look at that damage. Brilliant.
The Tristram fields are fair lands, fertile and temperate. Superstitious farmers kept away from them for quite a while after the fall of Old Tristram. But time has persuaded them to abandon these ridiculous notions and take up the hoe and plough once more. Now they supply crops to both New Tristram and Wortham.
I'm not quite sure what all the fuss is about. Few farmers turn up dead, and everyone goes running for the hills. I've lived off these lands for 20 years, and I have not seen any bloodthirsty monsters running about. No reason I should leave a perfectly good harvest.
Adversary is before us. Worthy opponent.
I don't think I'm hitting them at all. Firebat time? No, I'm not even hitting him with that. There we go. Resilient cart, huh? Well, good job keeping them trapped in there. Yes, I'm not caring for the toads. See, Electrocute at least feels like it hits the target fairly often. This, it's hard for me to really tell. Alright, quite a large area to explore here, so I figure that this entire field is probably going to be one video. So who knows, maybe that might be the best way to segment some of them, is to segment them by the large overarching overworld. Because some of the dungeons can start to get pretty large later on. Alright, well, let's just see, make sure there's nothing else, any hidden elites that I've missed. Get some experience. Uh-oh. Yeah, just use the Firebats more often. Lost my dogs again. Really? I think I'm gonna have to go into elective mode and change up this build, huh?
These fields used to be so beautiful. Uncle Deckard told me stories of them when I was a little girl.
Alright, well, let's go back around to the center and just make sure there's my waypoint. Very good.
Not today, monster!
Firebats can sometimes be a little unsteady. You think you're going to hit something, and then because they kind of meander on their path, they don't always. What's this? Large lake, huh? Let's go up here. Okay. Yeah, I've seen this segment pop up a couple times, and it never appears to be anything here. What'd you find? Well, there we go. Mostly done.
After much searching, I have found a promising lead. A family near New Tristram has obtained a valuable relic, and poor fools that they are, they have...
You there! Please help! They're going to kill my friend!
After much searching, I have found a promising lead. A family near New Tristram has obtained a valuable relic, and poor fools that they are, they haven't the slightest idea what to do with it. I have some idea of what to do with their daughter, though. And through her, I'll get my prize.
I like the Scoundrel. He's one of my favorites to run around with, just because he's so much not a hero.
Thieves are going to kill my friend if we don't do something. Help me break these bonds and see for yourself.
What do they want with your friend?
She's just a farmer's daughter, Sasha, but she has a relic that the thieves are after.
He's deserted you. Just give it over.
My sweet love will save me.
Yes, yes, love.
Release the girl. The relic belongs to her.
You actually believe what this scoundrel tells you? Fine, you fools. We'll kill the both of you.
You, sir, can try. And fail. Oh man, just right through them. Come here, buddy. Come here. Yeah, you're gone.
Mana.
This isn't over. The rest of the Thieves Guild will find you.
And then he explodes spectacularly into loot. Yes.
Here's the relic, my love. I hid it like you asked. Father's grown suspicious of us, but that won't matter once we're married. It won't be long, right?
Of course, my dear. Soon we will settle down to a quiet life of tilling the fields and raising children. But first, I have to sell this relic. Alas, I must travel away with my friend here to do so.
You wish to come with me?
Yes, yes! You look like you know a lot about markets. Now, lead the way!
Such a gentleman.
Relic is a fake! Gods, I should have known! You seem like you could use a helping hand, and I sure as hell don't want to stay around here.
Please tell me that you're not considering this criminal's proposal.
Yeah, my favorite thing, I think, about the Scoundrel is his interactions with the Templar. They do not get along, and I love it. But one thing I just kind of wanted to look at here, and if you've never just come this way to stop and take a look, honestly, I know on my video it may not be the sharpest because of the resolutions I have to use, but this area, honestly, when you look at it, is quite beautiful, in my opinion. I just like the design of it, the flow, and the way it feels.
I saw you in an inn several months ago.
That is likely. I have journeyed a long way.
You were extremely polite, but tipped poorly, I am told.
We should pick up the pace.
Yes, let's do that. I just had to stop and take a look. I really do like the scenery in this game.
Ah, there you are.
Alright.
And you're betrothed?
Betrothed? Do I look like the marrying kind to you? By the way, my name is Lyndon.
Alright, so at this point I have the choice to take the scoundrel, Lyndon. I have to replace the Templar, of course. I think for these playthroughs what I'm planning to do is, because each of the followers has some interesting things to say, not only to me, but regarding the situation you're in, I want to keep the Templar for this playthrough. As you saw there was a conversation between the Templar and Leah, so sometimes the NPCs will talk to each other, and for me that's half the amusement of the game. You know, and unfortunately...
The say of Alaric and this temple is not encouraging.
Yes. Unfortunately, it's one of those things that when you do co-op you miss out on, and I think it's a real shame.
The spirits say that you hang a mantle of shame on your shoulders. What crimes haunt you?
I cannot tell you.
You are a good man, the spirits say. Unburden your heart, my friend.
You misunderstand me. We are literally unable to recall our pasts. The Inquisitors stripped my sins and the memory of them from me, leaving me pure.
Must be Alaric the Guardian. Uncle Deckard told me of your eternal watch over this cursed place. I thought it was a myth.
Are you Nephilim?
No. There have been no Nephilim for a millennium.
Yet another myth. You seek entrance to this temple, but only a Nephilim can enter. If you retrieve the keys from the outlying tombs and use them on the gates, we will see who and what you truly are. Follow me. I will raise the bridge that you may pass.
Now what I want to point out here is you can see, again, the little subtle clues. There is the crater where the sword impacted, right there. And so eventually you will get in here, you'll be able to get across, and I just, it's nice to see that they include those details.
Seek 2 tombs in the woods beyond. The warrior's rest and the crypt of the ancients. Within them reside the keys to our sacred temple.
Thank you, sir. Much appreciated. But before I do that, I think I will go ahead and get ready to end this video. We'll go back to town via the waypoint, clear out my inventory, yada yada yada. Alright, and that conversation with the Templar here about his sins is definitely something, if you haven't taken the time to play maybe in single player, you've been doing all co-op, but you might be interested in some of the story, I really recommend going through at least, you know, playing through one of the difficulty modes solo with a follower and talking to them. The Templar here, for example, has some very interesting things to go about his past, and he actually does a little bit of self-discovery. And this is something I'll talk about at length later. I think maybe after I do at least a playthrough once, talk about the lore and where things can possibly go. But I don't want to give away too much for anyone that may be watching here, still hasn't progressed. There are some people that still haven't gotten the game. You know, so I'm just still trying to be a little bit courteous about that. For the most part, a lot of the story is already out there, but I want to still provide options. I figure once I've gone through it once, then it's fair game. But after that, or sorry, before that, I still just want to have a bit of courtesy regarding it.
Found some interesting things on my latest
So,
dig.
did I find anything good? No, I did not. Okay. So that's it. At this point, do I have to repair? Yes. Okay, I'm past level 10. My items are starting to take durability loss. So that's something you'll have to keep in mind going in the future. I think what I'll do is I'll also change up my build since I don't care for Plague of Toads. I've given it a try. I know it's good for short range, but I think I want to try and put something else together. We'll see. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this is KageKaze signing out for this segment of The Witch Doctor. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. Thumb up, questions, comments, and concerns in the comments field below. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you again soon.